relationships that I have with other people, and that can be like intellectual or emotional intimacy, but I need to have a reason to have you in my life. To call you a friend, if you're an acquaintance, that's a different story, but then again, I kind of feel like having acquaintances can be a waste of time. I feel like people need to have a clear role in my life. Well, what are we doing, and I no longer have anyone in my life that I have emotional intimacy with. I had that with my ex, and even though I don't want to be with her, I think that really ran its course, I got what I needed out of that, and it was definitely a formative part of my 20s, but now I know that intimacy is really important to me, and there is definitely a void left, and currently no one remaining in my life can fit the role that she had, because the other people in my life, I don't really get deep with people, I don't really talk about my feelings, and I mean, this channel, I'm very candid and open, and it's about learning about who I am and just talking about how I feel, but I feel as though it's boring to not have anyone in your life that you can kind of talk about things with, that are deeper than surface level. I just don't want you to send me funny videos, at one point that would have satisfied me, but I've tasted more now, and now I require more. I don't want to have avoidant friends or people who are not trying to work on themselves and who don't want to know more, who don't, I don't know, who I can't have interesting conversation with. That's really important to me. And maybe I could find people with who I can have these discussions with, but I don't really care to make friends right now. I just don't want to. I think right now is a season of my life where I just need to be alone, I think, and learn more about me, and I can feel lonely at times, but that's okay. I'm just learning to accept that, it's okay to feel lonely. Life still goes on, it's fine. Really, what are you gonna do, and I've just been craving depth and learning to sit with uncomfortable feelings. I have definitely become more in tune with myself after the relationship I had, and I noticed discomfort more in my body and physical sensation. For example, one strange thing is that I have become hyper aware of when I'm dehydrated, and I can feel when my throat is parched. And some people may think, wow, that's obvious, you should know that, but I feel like I was very unconnected from my body and out of touch with it. But now I'm I can understand how I feel. I know I feel like a sim, when they give you the alert, when it's they're hungry, they're tired, I can follow the cues that my body is giving me, and I feel like I can take care of myself better now because of that, because taking care of yourself to the best of your ability relies on your capacity to be present in your body and to be able to It's a strange one, as I never craved emotional intimacy before her, but it's exciting to know I am capable of feeling this way, and it opens up a whole host of opportunities to me. I can now live a richer life and have a fuller existence now that I've had a taste of love with a woman. With another woman, maybe that's what love is about. And I mean, I loved her to the best of my ability back then, but as I'm growing and changing, it makes me look forward to how I will be able to love a woman another time, because of how much my mindset has changed and how much I now know if I can love and feel deeply for another human, even when I have so much to work on and I don't really know what I'm doing in the relationship. Imagine when I become more knowledgeable, like, that gives me something to look forward to, you know. And yeah, I think I like who I'm becoming, and I feel like I'm becoming more gentle. I'm definitely becoming more introspective and more accepting of the fact that multiple truths can exist at once. I don't have to force myself through the borders of another's truth because everyone is right if they believe they are. I just don't have to accept that truth as mine, but we can all still coexist, and I can still choose to love. But yeah, I want to be kind, and I want to be soft, and I want to love myself deeply and have an unbreakable bond with another woman, and it needs to be a soul connection, a worthy been in my life connection, and it will be one. But for now, I know I need to focus on myself. If any of you are Finland saga watchers, I feel like I'm in my Thorfinn season 2 arc, letting go of all that anger and bitterness. And to be fair, when I first tried to watch that a few years ago, I found it boring, and I was like, oh my god, I miss when Thorfinn was crazy and he was just offing everyone, you know, and he was on a rampage. But I think then again I had a different mindset. I had never been in love by then, and I never even wanted to be in love. Like, I just didn't care about relationships or anything like that. So I've never really believed people come into your life for a reason. I just think it is what it is. But my ex would say that we met for a reason, and even though I don't prescribe to that belief, I do think that it was very important that I did meet her, because it did open up my life in a way that I never would have imagined. And if I hadn't met her, who knows if I would be on the journey I am today, you know. So yeah, I mean, whatever reason we met for, it's important that we did. And I'm thankful for the love I shared with her, even if I don't want her back in my life in that way. But that love awoke feelings that lay dormant inside me, and I'll forever be grateful for that. And if I could feel so intensely when I was half-formed, how much more will I love when I settle into my new identity? So yeah, I think I have a lot to look forward to. I'm very excited for the summer. I'm going to be just taking the time to